Hello everyone, we are live on Eurosport here at the Forum in Milan. Day 11, quarterfinal between the Canadians and the Czechs, and right there on your screen is Ranford going down to make another big save.
The Czechs with good pressure in the early going in the second period. Ranford's been tested 3 times already.
In the first period, Straka came out after 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Short pass from Jagger, they opened their accounts, and then the Canadians replied with Shanahan at 12:20 to make it 1-1, and that's the way it stands here at 3:25 of the second period. Canada deep in their own zone now, and the Canadians have noticed that there has been a gear change out there. The Czechs have picked it up a gear, and they're looking very, very fast in this period. Korea down the far side. Dulles was coming up close behind him. Serson collects on the near side, gets it behind the net. A giveaway there to Arnott. Arnott to Korea, right in front. Shanahan couldn't get the skate or the stick on it. Duchesne peppered it in. Arnott leaves that for Korea. Korea trying to stick handle out of the corner. That didn't work, but the Czechs get it out of the zone. Dulles unable to keep it in there, and Poland goes deep for the Czech Republic. Right up the middle, Horak, Dolezal, Serson, a one-timer, didn't work. Shanahan hits the blue line right up the middle. Korea was right there. The idea was perfect.
Exactly the right idea. Korea slipping behind the Czech defense, trying to get onto the pass from Luke Robitaille. Going off his stick, Bryza coming up with the save.
Face-off in Czech territory at 4:16 of the second period. A lot of support here for both teams, but most of the flags belong to the Swedes and the Finns. Brindamore in the face-off circle gets it all the way back to Sidor. Sidor lets a shot go, and that deflected away. Robitaille spins around, and Bryza got a piece of that. Bryza playing with that sore knee is looking very sharp indeed. The word is that Bryza will have an operation right after the World Championships finish. And right now he is nursing a sore knee, but he's still looking sharp. Sidor goes back deep, being shadowed by Rasinski. Rasinski goes in hard and falls down. The puck is smothered along the boards. The Swedish referee wants the players to play on. Robitaille unable to get to that. Serban on the backhand tips it through. Robitaille taps it forward. Here come the Canadians. 1, 2, 3 coming up over the red line. The drop pass, a shot by Robitaille is wide of the target. Penalty coming up as Thomas picks himself up. Tripping is the call.
Good work again from Robitaille and Thomas. A couple of nice passes. Bryza having to be on his toes. Thomas dumped on the play as the Czechs were trying to get out of their own zone. Zemlichka goes to the penalty box for tripping.
Face-off just outside the Czech Republic zone. 5:09 the time of the penalty. Zemlichka sits for 2. Corson at center. Kucher is there for the Czech Republic. Corson to Sanderson. Sanderson flips it to the far side, and Canada slowly work it around in neutralized territory. Long shot driven in by Sidor. Verbeek on the far side couldn't handle that, and the Czech forward Janecki comes up. Janecki, good move, almost got away with that. Blake gets back in a hurry, and Blake comes up now, hits the blue line. Blake, long flip up. Icing is the call.
Pass flipped through ahead of Sanderson. He couldn't get onto it. It was from behind the center red line when the pass was given up by Blake. Icing is the call. 1:28 left on Zemlichka's penalty. The Canadians still have a man advantage.
Arnott, Korea, and Shanahan go out there for Canada. This is their big line right now. Jagger moves over as Straka gets set to take the face-off. Arnott is there for Canada. 5:41, 1:28 remaining on the power play. This one really hasn't got started yet for the Canadians. Canada coming out of the zone quickly. A drop pass back. CZECH on the wing, slows it down to avoid the offside. Jagger stays on him. That comes back to Shanahan at the blue line. Shanahan winds up, deflects, and scores! Korea was right in front. That deflected off a stick, but the shot came from Shanahan.
Power play goal for Canada. 1:12 left on Zemlichka's penalty. He'll come out of the box now. Korea, Shanahan, and Arnott involved again on a Canadian goal. Shot coming from Shanahan. Korea's right in front of the goal. There was a deflection in front of Briza. The Canadians have a 2-1 lead.
Minuto 5:58 nel secondo tempo, realizza la seconda rete del Canada, il numero 27 Paul Korea, assist numero 14 Shanahan.
Korea getting credit for the goal, Shanahan the assist. And the Canadians take the lead.
Second goal scored by number 27 Paul Korea.
5:58 the time of the goal. A nice little tip on the power play with Zemlichka sitting in the box. Face-off now goes just outside the Canadian zone.
Paul Korea with 4 goals and 6 assists now in the World Championships. What more can you say about this guy? Come together nicely with Shanahan, linking up, finding each other all over the ice. Shanahan, 4 goals and 2 assists now, 6 points for him.
Canadians moving into the face-off circle. CZECH trying to get that one back, and Musil grabs it, gives it to Serban. Serban's pass up to Serson. Musil with that slow, lumbering style gives it right to Corson. Corson in turn loses out to Serson. Corson gets it right back. Briza leaves it for Musil, who drops it over to the far side of the rink. Some close checking out there in the attacking zones and in the neutral zone. Flipped all the way up, and the Canadians getting back in a hurry. Ranford bangs that off the boards. It's kept in the zone. Horak tries to skate through a crowd, and the Canadians with a 3-on-2 situation. Coming up on the wing, Buchberger is dumped out of the play. There's going to be a penalty. The Czechs are not happy with the Swedish referee. Interference is the call.
Serban called for interference. Ricci doing his job. He had a good piece of the Czech player's stick. Play going around the net. Buchberger on the move. He's brought down. Dolezal has done a good job to get back in there to make it a 3-on-3. Serban was working on Ricci. Ricci had a hold of Serban's stick. He went with the play. Serban called for interference.
There's going to be another penalty out there as Serban goes in with Dolezal, and Serban was mouthing off to the official. Dolezal was also giving him a hard time. 6:51 the time of this double penalty to the Czech Republic. 2-1 the score. The Canadians leading the Czechs here in the second period.
Canadians opening things up a little bit on that last shift. They really had a good flow going for themselves. 3-on-2, like we said, as they came down the ice. Dolezal worked hard to get back into the play, but the end result was Serban picking up 2 minutes for interference. Dolezal getting a penalty for mouthing off after the whistle had blown.
There's nothing on the... Well, Dolezal is going to get 10.
2 minutes for interference. To number 26, Yuri Dolezal, 10-minute misconduct.
He gets a 10-minute misconduct. The announcement is just made. They don't put those up on the scoreboard, but it's recorded. Of course, if you're watching hockey for the first time, the man who gets the 10-minute misconduct can be replaced on the ice, but he can't come back on the ice. He sits there for 10 for bad-mouthing the official, so they'll lose Dolezal. Serban is in the box for 2. Racine. Long pass the far side. The one-timer comes in. Briza goes down. Racine, a good pass over to Thomas. That was nice.
Great feed by Yves Racine. Seen on the left defense, moving the puck cross slot. Thomas coming right into it. It's a one-timer. Breeze is showing great reflexes. You can say he's got a sore knee all you want. It couldn't have bothered him on that play. He really got over there in a hurry.
Brindamore out there for Canada. Has been winning most of these draws in the first and second period. The linesman trying to tell Kuchera how to take a face-off. Kuchera ran into the linesman. The shot comes in, misses the target, bounces out. Loose puck in front, and the Czechs are not happy with what's going on there between the officials and their play. That bounces away, and some good stuff from Kuchera as he breaks down. Kuchera tries to get a shot. Oh, he scores! Short-handed goal, Kuchera. Perhaps that's a little justice for the Czech Republic. Boy, did he steam away, and he kept going. Despite the chase, he somehow got that beyond the Canadian goaltender.
Short-handed effort by the Czechs. Kuchera was very annoyed on the face-off. I was just going to say the Canadians are rated #1 on face-offs in the tournament. They've been outstanding on the draws. The Czechs were able to clear. The puck bounced over Racine's stick. Kuchera just kind of casually skated through the Canadian defense. Racine trying to chase him, couldn't get enough of him, and Kuchera has a well-deserved goal, and it's the equalizing goal for the Czech Republic.
1:12 now remaining on the Canadian power play. And the officials appear, according to the Czechs, to be against the Czechs. Of course, that's not the way it works out there, but things are not going their way. Back of the blue line, 2-2 score line. 8 minutes gone. We have another penalty.
Penalty going against the Canadian. Shanahan is going to make his way to the penalty box, holding the stick. You can see the referee making the call. Well, I don't know if the Swedish ref is trying to even things up, but he saw something that he didn't like. Shanahan going to the box for holding. 4-on-4 hockey now. Only 49 seconds left on Serban's penalty. The Czechs will have a power play for over a minute.
Face-off just outside the Czech zone. Straka and Jager with Musil and Mechiar. Musil circles back. Musil taps it over to Mechiar. Mechiar back to Musil. The shadow there comes from Sakic. Mechiar. Little tap forward. Straka up to Jager. Jager breaking around the far side as Straka follows him. Straka picks up the puck now. Mechiar thought about going towards the net. Double back. Jager was there but just couldn't reach that. Play going the other way now as the Canadians. Sanderson coming in. Sanderson gets around Mechiar. Good move. Drops it back. Bergevin took the shot. Lost it. Straka with a lot of speed. Slows it down though. Comes up, gives it to Jager. Jager trying to go around Bergevin. Pass right in front. Holland takes the shot. Ranford is there. Play continues, and the Czechs are back at full strength. 1 minute on the penalty to Shanahan as that goes all the way down the ice.
Both teams opening the play up now. Kuchera is way down at the Canadian blue line trying to make something happen for himself as the Czechs approach the Canadian zone. Offside is the call as Horak moved in along the right side, dragging the puck behind him. Janecki had just fed it over to him. Good wide open play for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Now guys in the box. It gives the teams more room to skate out on the ice. You got to have the guys going with legs. Straka and Jager putting on a good shift. They go off the ice. Janecki comes out with Kuchera now. Czech power play, 5-on-4 out there. Kuchera in the face-off circle. Corson gets that and drops it back to the D. Deflected away, and we'll have another face-off. 9:22 gone on the period. 2 goals apiece. First period, we had some exciting stuff, but it really didn't catch fire.
But now the pace has picked up and both teams have geared up one gear, and it looks like we're in for a really hot game. They know that the loser will go home. The winner goes on to fight in the next round. Ivan Linka knows only too well that his job is on the line. If he can go further in this competition, he may be around next year. Mechiar, the return pass just slides it across, and the Czechs now work it up with Baranek. Zemlichka stationed on the blue line. The shot deflected away. Canada coming back on the attack. Buchberger gets it up on the wing. Corson is there. Buchberger behind the net. Buchberger hanging on to that, killing off the final 14 seconds of this power play. Baranek. Dallas puts a big chop in as that goes in. Buchberger way deep in the corner. Breeza shoots it up along the boards. The Canadians are back at full strength. Takeo goes in. Korea's there to pick it up. Drops it all the way back to Blake. Blake fires it into the corner. The Canadians now setting it up with Korea. Korea unable to hang on to that puck. Zemlichka breaks through center. Zemlichka passes it over on the wing. The shot comes in. Ranford got a piece of that as Rasinski let it fly on the blocker side. Rasinski comes off the ice. Korea breaking quickly, almost got away with that. Korea takes a heavy hit by Musil, but both players get back into the play. Arnott drops it deep. Canada, loose puck in front. Korea picked it up. Shanahan set him up. Bouncing along the boards. Jagr is there. Jagr to Straka. Straka drops it back up to Jagr. Jagr can't get the stick on it. And Canada getting back quickly. Both teams playing some good hockey as we go end to end here in the second period. 11:04 gone on the period. Canada now coming back. Robitaille puts a move on Serban, gets away from him. A little tip right out front. And the shot from Thomas just ended up behind the goal. Arnott is out front. Arnott! And he can't hit the net. Kuchera picks up the puck. Thomas gets it in the corner. Back to Arnott. Musil goes after him. The Canadians shooting from all angles. That goes high as Racine moved in and let the wrist shot go.
Both teams playing good hockey. Kastak did a good job of closing the slot down. Racine was open momentarily. The pass came to him. Kastak got a stick on the shot, sent that up into the crowd. That could have been dangerous. Good work by Robitaille. Thomas down low. Brindamore out there to join him on the ice. Racine going close. The Czechs talking it over. Janecki having a quick word with Breeza.
Face off right at the top of the circle in the Czech Republic zone. Brindamore. Robitaille can't control the puck as Racine picks it up and goes deep. Janecki stays on him. 11 minutes 40 seconds gone on the period. Holland being chased by Robitaille. Long clearance out of the zone. Bergevin goes deep. Bergevin slowly brings it up, and the Canadians taking their time to bring it out of the zone and work it in, but Kadlec grabs that along the boards, gets it away from Brindamore. Janecki picks up the pace. Janecki comes up. Offside is the call as Horak was just a stride offside there.
Janecki carried the puck right into the Canadian defense. There were 4 red shirts back along the blue line, and Janecki elected to come into the middle with the puck. Right down the middle, right into the heart of the Canadian defense. Horak a step ahead of Janecki. Offsides is always going to be the call.
Baranek and Sakic. Rasinski muscles along the boards, and the loose puck gets away from Takeo. Sanderson breaking in. The shot, a one-timer, misses the target. And that's the second time in a few seconds that the Canadians have missed that open side of the net. Zemlichka unable to control that. It's picked up now. 4 Czechs in neutralized territory. Mechiar having problems with that puck. Delayed offside as the Canadians bring it out. Sakic up on this side to Verbeek. Verbeek tries to pick it up. He loses out to Zemlichka. Zemlichka, nice pass up to the far side. Rusinski takes a shot, and that grazes by Ranford and goes into the corner. Canada now with a 2-on-2 situation. Sakic gets a little more support. Verbeek in the corner pushes Big Musil out of the way. Serban taps it up to Rusinski. The Czechs move forward as the Canadians change on the fly. Jagger is tied up in front of the net. Canada goes the other way. Long pass out is batted right back in, and Bobby Dallas has it now for Canada.
Penalty on the play. The Swedish referee going over to the box again. Ricci trying to get the last word in. The referee skating away from him very quickly. Roughing is the call going against Mike Ricci. Canadians had a good flow going for themselves. They really didn't need a penalty. 13-20 gone in this period, Paul, and things are really starting to roll for the Canadians. They're looking good down low. They're giving the Czechs a lot of trouble around their own goal and behind the net. Good give-and-go hockey.
It's funny because the Americans the other day when we talked to them said they're not involved in the possession game out there. When they play the European teams like the Swedes, the Finns, the Czechs, they can hang on to the puck as long as they want, as long as the Americans get the goals and get more goals than the other team. Right now the Canadians are hanging on to the puck a lot. They are playing the possession game, but they're winning it. The score is 2-2, but the Czechs seem to be content with not having the puck all the time.
Still down to that hard work along the boards and give-and-go hockey. Rennie, Dubé, Kingston behind the Canadian bench. They're all well aware of that.
Kastak the shot, couldn't get it away. Straka moves in, Jagger is there, and Serban has to go deep. Musil takes the pass, the top of the blue line, and the Canadians set it up, getting deep in their own zone. 4 players back. Kastak moved in. Corson loses out to Straka, and then Corson gets it out of the zone. The Czechs working that in neutralized territory. Musil gives it away. Emerson gets it back to the blue line. A quick change for the Czech Republic. The pass up. Sakic playing with a broken stick just dropped that and couldn't take the shot as Horak moves up center. Janecki is with him. Horak. Kuchera's out front. Musil lets the shot go. Ranford gets that with a blocker. The Czechs now setting it up, coming all the way back to Kadlec. Shot deflected away before it got to the goal, and the Canadians trying to get it through Kadlec. They do. Buchberger from a sharp angle lets the shot go. Breeza made the save, but it looked a bit awkward. Janecki waits for support out there. Horak is on the wing. Kuchera's there. The shot is easily pushed out by Ranford, and the Canadians with Shanahan. 22 seconds on the power play. That's dumped all the way into Czech territory. 15:03 on the period. The Czechs now with 13 seconds on the power play. Long shot right on the target. Pad save by Ranford. And Canada just shoot it all the way down the ice.
Canadians survive the shorthanded situation as Ricci comes back out. A good job on that penalty killing by Buchberger and Sakic, doing a lot of hard work.
Zemlichka muscled out of the play by Duchesne, and the whistle blows. A lot of stuff happening off the puck out there. A lot of rough stuff along the boards just after players release the puck.
Linesman finally going down to get the broken stick off the ice. It's been out there a while. We haven't had a stoppage in play. Haven't been able to remove the stick.
4.5 minutes remaining on the period. 2-2 the score. The Czechs got off to a good start with Straka, and then Shanahan came back. Korea for Canada, and then Kuchera on a shorthanded effort. Good solo effort by Kuchera to level the score in the second period. Arnott being told how to take a face-off. Boy, I wish they'd just drop that puck and get on with the game. Takel falls. Takel doesn't want to give that up, but Shanahan goes after it. Big dive on the play as Korea went down. Metchiar taps it up to the blue. Baranek got it over to Rusinski, and he too went down. Everybody's hitting that ice. Must be something about the ice that they like.
Korea's was definitely a dive. Zemlichka was looking to draw a penalty. The Czechs going into the Canadian zone. I'm not so sure as though that one really was a dive. The Czech supporters reacted. They wanted a call, but Swedish referee evened things up by just saying, no, play on. You're even on that one. Puck going right into the catching glove of Ranford. He couldn't get rid of it. It was stuck in the webbing of his glove. Face-off will be in Canadian territory. Both teams changing it up once again.
Ranford, 27 years old, plays his hockey in Edmonton for the Oilers. Has done a good job for Canada. They're undefeated in this competition.
Ranford in 3 games has got a 94.8% saves percentage, 1.33 goals against. That's impressive. He's done an excellent job in the net for Canada.
Richardson threw the puck behind the net. Canada now come out. Less than 4 minutes on the period. Coming over the line was Korea. Arnott back to Shanahan. Shanahan hangs onto it nicely. Got it away from Straka. The shot bobbled away. Musel got a piece of it. And he gives it to Kastak. Kastak finds Straka, who's got Jagger. That's tipped all the way in. Ranford slows it down for Blake. Blake along the boards to Shanahan. He lets it ride for Korea. Korea looking for a little support. Arnott is right there in front. The shot! Arnott is so big, he just towers over everybody in front of that net.
Also, how about the vision of Korea? It looked like Arnott and Shanahan were both well covered by the Czechs. That pass was fed through by Korea right onto the stick of Arnott.
Canadians changing on the fly out there. Straka unable to control that. Thomas drops it back, and the pace really has slowed down in the last 45 seconds here. Coming up to the final 3 minutes. Canada now back on the attack. Robitaille was chasing Brindamore, and Brindamore went over the blue. Offside is the call.
Blake going to the bench for the Canadian defense. Sador out there. Robitaille, Thomas, Brindamore up front for the Canadians. Horak brings his line out with Kuchera and Janechki.
Kuchera has had a strong couple of periods. Less than 3 minutes on this one. He really has been the star of the Czech performance so far. The guy is doing a great job of checking and goal scoring out there. Thomas was robbed on the play as Janechki brings it up on the right side. Janechki trying to make things happen and runs into Sador. Thomas whips it up nicely to Brindamore. Robitaille loses out right along the boards, but right along the blue line rather, but the Canadians keep it in. Kuchera has Janechki. Janechki breaking down, but Dulles is going to get back. Sador is over there. Dulles saw that happening all the way, but the Czechs really do have a quick break. Robitaille brings it over nicely, tries to feed it in, just bobbles it over the back of the net. Robitaille with Thomas. Both players on the far side of the rink. Thomas and Robitaille. Now Brindamore joins it. Brindamore behind the net gets a push and a shove from Kadlec. Loose puck is picked up and given right to Zemlichka. 3-on-3 situation. Zemlichka having problems with that puck. Gets away from Robitaille and is brought down. Zemlichka looks up at the Swedish referee. He doesn't want to know. Less than 2 minutes now on the period. Canada shooting it right in with Racine getting a piece of that. Another tip along the boards. Icing is the call.
Canadians right in the middle of a line change. The puck is starting to take quite a few crazy bounces now. A minute and a half to go in the second period. The ice is pretty chopped up. A couple of times on the last shift, Robitaille could see Brindamore in the open, skating hard, but couldn't get the puck away to him as the puck really wasn't bouncing in his favor. The Czechs having the same trouble along the boards, trying to control their passes.
1.5 minutes remaining on the second period. 2-2 the score. This one is live on Eurosport. We hope you're enjoying it. Remember, tonight, the Finns take on the Austrians. Can the Austrians do to the Finns what the Americans did to the Russians? Baranek slides that in. Ranford goes down. Rasinski was right there knocking on the door. Baranek gets it all the way back to the blue. The shot comes in. Ranford went down again, but that missed the target. Mechiar gets a tip, and Zemlichka couldn't hang on to it. Rasinski just bangs it off the boards. 58 seconds remaining on the period. Bookberger. Takel, who let that shot go a moment ago, flips it off the boards and gets it into Canadian territory. Canada with Duchesne. Duchesne, 4 Canadians on the blue line. Duchesne head manning the puck, but that's intercepted, and the Czechs will be happy just to get it out of harm's way, but Racine has other ideas. Racine puts it back in. The Czechs standing around in their own zone. There's going to be a penalty on the play. Interference is the call, and Takel said, what's going on out there?
Well, Shane Corson is a real grinder, let's face it. 3 times within 5 seconds. He was high stuck once, interfered with twice. On the 3rd time, justice was finally done for Shane Corson as Takel took him down, and the Swedish referee finally saw it. He really was being manhandled. Not that Corson minds that kind of body contact, but Takel was finally called. The Czechs will be shorthanded. 26 seconds left on this period. So unless the Canadians score, the penalty will continue on into the 3rd period.
George Kingston not giving much away with the facial expression. Canadian coach, formerly with the Norwegian national team and San Jose. San Jose doing well now in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but right now it's all about World Championship hockey here in the Forum in Milan.
Kingston with Rennie and Dubé behind the bench has got good support. Rennie and Dubé took the Olympic team to the silver medal. They've done an outstanding job with Canadian coaching.
Arnott flips it back. Blake moves in from the circle. Shot breezes there. 19 seconds on the period. 1:53 on the power play.
Tom Rennie having a quick word with the players out on the ice. Rob Blake going over Korea, getting a quick listen to what Rennie has to say. They want to try something. 19 seconds left. Face-off need. The Canadians rated #1 on face-offs, like I said. Kuchera is there for the Czechs to take the draw. He isn't a bad little face-off expert himself. Shanahan's going in to take it for the Canadians.
Face off to the right of Breeze as he looks down the ice. Kuchera wins that, gives it to Serban. Serban with just 15 seconds on the period just slides it down the ice. Blake is back deep. Blake works it out, gets a pass up to the blue line. The Canadians with Shanahan taking the long shot. Breeze drops it right away, and there goes the buzzer to end the 2nd period. 1 goal apiece. Korea at 5:58, and then Kuchera for the Czech Republic at 7:38. A short-handed solo effort by him, and that leveled the score. Straka started things off for the Czechs in the 1st period, and then it was Shanahan for the Canadians at 12:20. So it's been 1 goal apiece. It's 2-2 right now, and things are building for the 3rd and final period.
Good 2nd period of play. Things were really going well for the Canadians. A shorthanded goal by Kuchera is really a key to this game right now. That lifted the Czechs and got them right back into the game.
Just a reminder, as I said, that the Finns take on the Austrians tonight on Eurosport, an 8 o'clock face-off in Europe, 7 o'clock in Great Britain, and tomorrow night it's Great Britain against Norway. The loser will go to Pool B. The winner stays in Pool A. We're going to take a break now. Stay with us. We'll be back with more action from the Forum in Milan in just a moment.
World Championship Ice Hockey on Eurosport, and as they clean the ice between the 2nd and 3rd periods between Canada and the Czech Republic, we'll catch up on the action from the 1st session. This game started tight and physical the way it's gone on throughout the match, with sweeping action going both ways. Canada in the red, playing on your screens at the moment from left to right. Jaeger brings it forward for the Czech Republic and feeds Straka on the right wing. Straka hacks at it to try and keep it in the Canadian zone, gets help from his defenseman, and it's deep with Jaeger. Jaeger behind the net, through the crease to Straka, and Straka with a bobble on the shot, but it goes in, and that was the opening goal from Straka. These two guys play together at Pittsburgh, of course. They know each other's play so well. And Jaeger hardly had to look to drop the pass through the crease for Martin Straka to open the Czech Republic's account. And it's grins all the way back to the bench. Nice turn from Jaeger, which threw Daryl Sidor off the descent somewhat. And Straka, bouncing puck, actually plays it down into the ice and it bounces up. If it had been a header in soccer, he'd have got all the honours from the coach. But it's a good finish, and it was the opening goal in this one. Quarter-final action in the World Championships. Sweden awaiting the winners. Martin Straka with his first goal. But the Canadians kept at it, as you'd expect them to. That tip went a little bit high, but they came back at the Czech Republic. Straka again involved in the action for the Czechs, along with Kastak, who's gone deep. And the Canadians brought it forward. Nice rink-wide passing. Arnott drops it off. Korea involved as well. And eventually Brendan Shanahan comes in to sweep up the garbage, as some might say, but the all count, that'll be in the stats column as a goal to Brendan Shanahan. Korea and Arnott picking up assists. The Canadians, just before they got the equalising goal, had killed a 5-on-3 power play with Richardson in the box and Emerson. Coach Kingston wouldn't have been pleased with Emerson's penalty. He'd run the goalkeeper when they were already short-handed. There's Brendan Shanahan coming in after lots of attention close round Breezer, the guy with the injured knee, in nets for the Czechs. Eventually Brendan Shanahan knocks it in, and we had a tied hockey game at 1 apiece. Shanahan got a hat-trick earlier in the World Championships. The Swedish coach says he doesn't mind who he has to play in the semi-finals, Canada or the Czech Republic. On the evidence of this one, one's as good as the other so far. There's the go-ahead goal in the second period. Paul Korea at 25:38. And he certainly feels good about that one. That put the Canadians in front for the first time. Korea right in the face of Breezer. Just a little tip, deflected it. Breezer was beat 2-1 to Canada. Now the Czechs took a penalty and Dolezal argued about it. He got a personal misconduct penalty. So the Czechs had a 2-minute penalty to kill. They killed one in the first period and one late in the first as well. 2 kills for the Czechs. But Canada hoping to capitalise on this man advantage. Racine throws it in. Breezer covers up. Stevie Thomas involved in it as well. Racine with the pass. Breezer covers up on the shot from Thomas. So it was still 2-1 to the Canadians, and the Czechs still a man short, plus Dolezal serving a personal misconduct for something he said. I don't know if the referee speaks Czechoslovakian. Perhaps it was just the tone in his voice. Kuchera arguing over the dropping of the puck with the linesman. Kuchera saying, come on, let's get on with it. It certainly fired him up. The shot's off the backboards. It's a bit of a scramble. The Canadians think they've kept it in the Czech zone, but it's a bouncing puck that gets past the defenseman, and Kuchera steams down the ice. Racine couldn't catch him after failing to collect on the blue line, and Kuchera, who'd been arguing with the linesman, was now celebrating with his colleagues. That was a short-handed goal for the Czechs. 2-2 the score. We had a host of penalties after that to Shanahan, Ricci and Tikel, and that Tikel penalty will put the Canadians on the power play at the start of the third period. But it was 1-1 in the first, 1-1 in the second, so it's 2-2 after 2 periods. This is Gary Moran for Eurosport. Richard Beaupre and Paul Ferguson are live at Rinkside in Milan. They'll have all the action from the third period. Canada versus the Czechs. That action will come to you straight after this break here on Eurosport.
Welcome back to the third and final period here at the Milan Forum. Canada against the Czech Republic. 2-2 is the scoreline after 40 minutes of hockey. Paul Ferguson here with Richard Beaupre. Beaup's third and final period. Are you going to call it now, or are you just going to wait for 20 minutes and then call it?
No, I don't play your game. I don't mind making a decision. I think a bad decision is better than none at all. I'm not going to ride the fence, Mr. Major. I am coming right at you. I'm thinking very seriously, and I'm telling you the Canadians are going to win this game.
What can I say? We've got 20 minutes of hockey. Takel is in the box. 1:35 remaining on the power play. Canada will come out with the extra man advantage. It's been close. Straka started things off, and then Shanahan leveled it up. Korea started things off for Canada, and then Kuchera leveled it up.
It has been a good close game. I think that the Canadians have done a good job, though, of using their bench. The Czechs have played quite a few players, 3-point whatever something lines, but the Canadians have used 13 different forwards during this game. And near the end of the second period, again, you can see the Canadians were jumping. They were moving. They looked a little bit quicker, a little fresher than the Czechs. We'll have to watch this third period get going. I do feel, though, that the Canadians are going to be stronger in the period.
Kuchera has played a fine game so far, getting that great short-handed goal. This guy's always dangerous on the face-off. He's a good floater, an excellent sniper. He can score goals, but he's also been playing good two-way hockey, some good defensive stuff, a lot of neat little poke checks out there in neutral ice that seem to go unnoticed by a lot of people in the stands. But this guy works two-way hockey. Breeza has looked good. This guy's got a sore knee, but he's playing some excellent hockey at the other end of the rink. Ranford has also looked good. He's had a couple of weird and wonderful shots come at him. There was a lot of traffic in front of both goaltenders, and we're seeing a lot of deflections out there.
Yeah, the puck starts bouncing around like crazy getting near the end of the period. It's warm here in this building. The ice gets chopped up pretty quick, and near the end of the period you see everybody just trying to shoot at the goal and hope for the right stick to get on the right rebound.
We've seen a lot of close-in shots where the players have missed the net completely because the puck has been rolling or bobbling or wobbling, and so it hasn't been that easy. The ice is perfect right now, but as Bob said a moment ago, it's very warm outside, it's warm in here. Shirt sleeve crowd, as they say in baseball. The Canadians play for 1:35 on the power play. They go from left to right. Comes all the way back on the D as Joe Sakic gets it up.
Good round of applause from the crowd in this near corner as the referee just sprawled out on the ice. They always like that.
Everybody loves to see an official fall down. Korea comes in. Korea taps it over to the far side. And the Canadians with 1 minute 10 seconds on the power play. Kuchera is out there. Kuchera is going to the box now if he can get off. Korea taps it up. Kuchera is so dangerous when he's working on the power play or when he's killing off penalties. Tapped into the corner. Canada unable to keep it in. 48 seconds on the power play now. 2-2 the score. 50 seconds gone on the period. Jagger steps on the ice. Straka's out there too. The shot. Breeza hangs on.
Shots after 2 periods of play favoring the Canadians 27-17. Breeza holding on as the Canadians attack the goal. Sakic getting the shot off. Face off deep in Czech territory.
Straka gets set for the face-off. Canada again winning it. That comes back out over the zone, though. Jagger chases his man. Flipped over to Blake. Blake bounces it off the boards. Straka is right there. He fires that out into neutral ice territory. Straka comes out to avoid the offside, and the Canadians unable to get settled on this power play. 15 seconds now as it comes down on the wing. Thomas is breaking right in. The pass goes back to Robitaille. Robitaille flips it all the way back to Sador. That comes over to Blake. Blake fires it to the far side. Back to Sador. Tees it up. The big shot. Briza way out of his net. That got by him, and it's pushed right under Briza. Everyone down. And eventually the whistle blows as Takel steps on the ice. The Czechs are back at full strength.
The Czechs have survived the shorthanded situation, but just barely. Briza putting his equipment back on. He's been molested in the Czech goal. Thomas, Robitaille, right down low. Robitaille with a chance. Musil back there fishing around for the puck. The action was all going into Briza's face. He's down. A good save as he sprawled out. Musil back there to help him out. He couldn't find the handle. Eventually, the Czechs were able to hold on long enough for a whistle to blow.
It's a bit like a fumble in American football, isn't it? With Robitaille coming in and a couple others piling on. Everybody wants that puck. Yeah,
you want the puck, but you don't really want the puck. It's one of those situations where you know you're going to get speared 3 or 4 times in the process. Face-off in Czech territory. They're back at full strength. 1:39 gone on the third period. 2-2 the score. Voronek got that back. Zemlichka chases that up to the red line. Clearance all the way down the ice, and Takel slides it along the boards. Ryshinsky there, fans on his clearance, and dumps it this way. The Czechs get it out of the zone. Dulles can't control that. A chance as Serson broke up quickly. Correction, Zemlichka. Thomas on the far side. Zemlichka almost got in there. Sador flips it over to the far side, and the Canadians slowly back on the attack. Dulles, big shot, and Briza gloves it down, taps it forward. Voronek waiting for that to come his way. It didn't, and he goes for a change. Canada quickly out there with Sanderson breaking on the wing. The pass is not a good one for Sanderson. Kuchera has it now. Kuchera drops it back. Dolezal watched that one as it went behind him. Sakic gets away from Kuchera. Sakic, one too many moves out there. Holland takes it off him. Kuchera gets it over to the far side. Dolezal is breaking, but the pass comes back from Kuchera, and Kadlec goes for a skate. Canadians quick to cover up. The Czechs started it into the zone, but before they got even to the top of the circle, 4 Canadians were back deep. Verbeek is hit by Horak. Kuchera, who's all over the ice, has that pass go back to Verbeek. Kuchera's there. Sakic really close checking in neutral ice territory. Kuchera, the shot upstairs. Richardson on the far side of the rink. Tapped all the way back on the D. Jágr and Straka step on the ice. The Czechs changing on the fly as that's flipped up. Jágr now. Jágr going down. Tried to get it onto the backhand. Blake saw that and deflected away. Correa goes in. Gets a little help from Richardson. Here comes Correa. 3-on-2, and Horak getting back to make it 3-on-3. Little tip going in, and that went high. Arnott got the wood to it. Jágr was right there now to pick it up and flip it out to Straka. Straka back to Jágr. Jágr cruises into the corner. Duchesne is there. And the loose puck is picked up as we approach the 4-minute mark of the period. The Canadians with Arnott coming close. Back comes Correa. This guy has got speed. Correa, the shot upstairs. Briza loves that one down. Wrist shot from Correa. Briza was not going to let that one go under any circumstance. He could see that his team was in the middle of a line change, and he held on. Zemlichka giving him a tap on the pads. The line change can be completed now. Again, great end-to-end action. The Canadians going close. Arnott getting a stick on that opportunity seconds ago. Shot going just wide. Good action by the Canadians. The Canadians again win the draw with Brind'Amour getting it back. The shot comes in. Briza is down. Robitaille tries to get it out front, and Briza pounces on it yet again. Robitaille has had a couple of opportunities in the game to give Steve Thomas and Brind'Amour a quick talking to. Having a word with Brind'Amour, saying thanks a lot for the pass. It just didn't work out. Robitaille, Thomas, Brind'Amour both in there. Briza sprawled out, but again able to come up with the puck. Face-off in
Czech territory as Kuchera goes up against Brindamore. That comes back. The shot. Briza got the save. Thomas let that fly. Thomas out to Brindamore. Janecki. Janecki now slowly gets it up to Dolezal. Dolezal flips it into the Canadian zone. Canada working it out with Dulles. Dulles on the right side of the rink. Holan gets back in a hurry. Holan going up against Robitaille, and Holan with one stick on the puck got it out of the zone. Canada now working through neutralized territory. A little flip by Dulles. He goes for a change. Briza fires it up to the blue line. Straka's there. Can't get the stick on it, but the Czechs pick it up in neutralized territory. Bounces off a skate as Dolezal now goes for a change. Musial sends it deep. 5:15 on the period. And the Canadians going back on the attack. Corson's right in front. Horak picks up the Sanderson pass and puts it up on the wing. Straka's there. Straka takes a shot. Ranford squeezes the pads and falls back but hangs on.
The Canadians were trying like mad to get back into the play. They were caught with 3 forwards going to the net. The pass went across the front of the goal. The Czechs were able to turn it around in a hurry and go the other way. Straka lets this one go. Good job of getting back by Buchberger. He takes his man out of the play right in front of Ranford, who had made the initial save, and that was a good save by Bill Ranford off the stick of Straka.
Well, the USA will play the winner of Finland-Austria. Sweden will take on the winner of this game. Tomorrow night in Bolzano, it's Norway against Great Britain. And the loser goes down to Pool B to make room for the Swiss. Blake at 5:40 in the period. Long high flip by Buchberger. Musial gets back, but Briza puts it up along the boards. Buchberger got a touch. Horak now. Horak head manning the puck. Jagger shot. And Sakic picks it up. The Canadians with 1, 2, 3 in the neutral zone. Sakic head manning the puck. Buchberger's trailing. Briza makes the save and just decides to get the whistle.
Musial comes in quickly to have a word with Corson. That'd be a good matchup. Musial likes to throw his weight around. Corson isn't going to walk away without getting a word or two in. The referee wants them both just to get out of there. The Canadians, the Korea's line coming back out onto the ice. Good action again, shot by Corson, saved there by Briza. Face-off staying in Czech territory. After the play, with everybody getting involved, the face-off being pulled back out of the Czech zone now by the linesman as the defenseman had come in as well for Canada.
Arnott against Baranek, and the Canadians with the puck on the far side. That's bouncing as Metjar was unable to find it. Tipped over, Duchesne flips it high, and that goes over the plexi. We'll have a face-off outside the zone. Duchesne and Rusinski bump together, and the officials quickly in to separate. Nothing serious there. Ranford at the far end of the rink keeps moving, keeps himself in the game. Play is, for the last couple of minutes anyway, has been in the Czech zone. Arnott loses out this time to Baranek. Takel with a burst of speed and a high flip off the boards. Ranford is there to slow it down. Canada, Duchesne, Arnott, Briza, nicely up to Rusinski. Rusinski a little slow on the boards. Big hit in there, and Baranek tried to swipe that away, and we're going to have a penalty.
Swedish referee seems to like that call. Interference is the call. It's going against the Canadians. Jason Arnott is not convinced that it's the right decision. The linesman escorting Arnott to the penalty box. We've got a 2-2 game. The penalty's going to be called. It should be a good one. Neither team want to be short-handed.
6:40 gone on the third and final period here in the Forum in Milan. Face-off comes out of the zone. The Czechs put on the line of Dolezal, Kuchera, and Janecki. Kuchera struggles with that. Ricci pops it in. Briza goes down. The shot doesn't come. The Canadians close to getting a shorthanded goal there, with Emerson on the far side working hard, but Briza closed it down. Emerson ran out of places to go. Pumped all the way in by Dolezal. Canada just firing that along the boards. Janecki traps it nicely. Dolezal working with Kuchera over to Janecki. Dolezal. Janecki goes back behind the net. Dolezal goes high. Rotation of the players. Kadlec take the shot. Ranford, big save. Dolezal taps it in. The Canadians with Sador shooting it all the way down the ice. Emerson takes the pass, but it's a two-liner.
Two-line pass is called. The face-off will come back away from the Czech zone as Briza goes out of his net for a skate. The Czechs moving the puck around nicely. Holland setting up a nice pick on the Canadian forward, allowing Kadlec to get a drive off from just inside the blue line. Ranford came up with a nice save on that one.
Face-off just at the top of the circle in the Canadian zone. 111 on the penalty to Arnott. Horak steps in for the Czech Republic and gets that back to the blue line. Straka is there. Straka had that tipped away. Serban has to go back to the blue line for the Czech Republic. 1 minute now on the power play. Serban being shadowed. Musil wants it back in the circle. Straka runs into the referee. Straka now with the puck in neutral ice territory, flips it over to Jagr. Jagr has Straka in front. Horak is right on the red line with him. Horak couldn't control that, but Serban is there to pick it up. That bounces back to the blue line. The shot in by Musil is wide of the target. Straka out front. Canada just getting it out over the zone with 25 seconds now on the power play. Buchberger putting the hook on Serban. Horak drops it back. Zemlichka steps on the ice, gets the puck at center ice. 15 seconds on the power play. Buchberger will pick this up. He drives it high all the way down the ice with 5 seconds now on the power play. Arnott steps on the ice and picks up the puck. The shot comes in. Ranford went up high on that. A lot of bodies being taken out there off the puck as the Canadians work it up with Brindamore. Brindamore back to Thomas. Thomas picked that one up nicely, lets the shot go. Briza got the stick out. Brindamore in the corner. Brindamore seems to have a lot of room, but this time Holland closes him down. Puck is tipped away, and the Canadians have to go back to center ice to pick it up. Tipped up to Thomas. Thomas fakes the shot, throws it in. Briza, the shot right on the target, makes the save.
Brindamore, Thomas, and Robitaille continue to pressure the Czechs. These three guys are really going hard. They're excellent forecheckers, and the Czechs are finding it tough to get out of their own zone when they're out there. Arnott on the bench getting some treatment right now. He stepped out of the box and stepped right into Zemlichka. Arnott being looked at.
Face off in the Czech zone as Shanahan gets set for the face-off at 9:21. 2-2 the score. It's been close. Both teams have had their moments. Briza really has been big in this period. A lot of time being taken on this face-off as the linesman was over at the timekeeper's bench getting one or two repairs. He now seems to be set, and we get ready for this face-off. Korea moves in through the circle. Janecki picks it up deep. Janecki, long pass up on the wing, and Dolezal fires it back over to Kuchera. Kuchera, Dolezal tipped away back at the defense. Shanahan tried to break at that, and Sador has to go back and collect. Canada now moving up, and Yunechki, Kuchera, Dolezal getting back. Everyone getting back deep in front of Briza. Sador lays it right at the goal. Kadlec takes a swipe at it. Kadlec goes in, can't get a handle on it, but that deflects away. Yunechki looking for Kuchera, but gets it up to Holland. Holland takes the shot, and Dolis got the stick, and that was deflected high. We have another whistle, another face-off coming up. 10:07 gone on the period.
Dolis did a good job to get the stick out, putting that one up into the crowd. Both teams changing again. Blake and Richardson coming out on the D. Jason Arnott is still being looked at on the Canadian bench. It appears to be his throat. It was an accidental collision between him and Zemlichka as Arnott stepped out of the penalty box a couple of minutes ago. Still not ready to come back out onto the ice.
From the face-off, that gets by Musil. Musil with the slow start gets back. I think you heard Verbeek coming. Jagger tries to split the D. Blake and Richardson take him out of the play, and the puck comes to the far side of the rink. 10:25 gone on the period now. The Canadians coming back on the attack. Sanderson taken out of the play. Blake right back at the blue line. Sanderson again, looking for places to go. Richardson hung on to that. Zemlichka was right there, ready to break. There was no one between him and the goaltender. Zemlichka now on the right wing for the Czech Republic. Stick handling, moving over the red, coming over onto the left wing. The shot right on the target. Rebound comes out to Blake, and the Canadians with the long pass up to Sakic don't make it work. Mechiar to Buranek. Buranek comes in. The shot high. Glove side, wide of the target. Rusinski winds up. His shot is wide of the target. Mechiar just dribbles that around the boards, and it comes back to Blake. Blake slows it down. The Canadians throw on Thomas. 11:18 rather, gone on the period.
Icing waved off on the play.
Robitaille moves in, can't get the stick on it. Duchesne takes the shot. Zemlichka tries to swipe at that. Duchesne back at the red line in a hurry to stop that long clearance from going any further. Brindamore overskates it. Robitaille overskates it. Buranek gets it back, and the Czechs now throw the puck around. But wherever you see a Czech with a puck, you're going to see a Canadian. Thomas goes in, and the whistle had already blown.
Offside the call. The Canadians thought they were on their way at Briza. Robitaille and Thomas doing a lot of work. Brindamore again getting himself involved. Thomas is through the Czech defense, but offside had been called.
Finland against Austria tonight. The Austrians think they're in with a chance. The Finns were practicing this morning. They looked loose. They looked confident. They were having fun out on the ice. It'll be interesting to see what they do to the Austrians tonight, or what the Austrians do to them. 8 o'clock Central European time, 7 o'clock up there in Britain. Canada, 2-2 scoreline here. Brindamore taken out of the play. Thomas goes in. Brindamore grabs the puck, tries to come in from the hash marks. 12:15 gone. A long pass up the middle. The Czechs with Janecki trying to set things up, working out there with Dolezal. Dolezal was steaming, but the pass didn't come his way. Robitaille loses out. Dolezal couldn't grab it. Sakic got it over. Canada working in front. Robitaille, Sakic right in front. That was very, very pretty indeed. Little back pass set up Sakic, and that was almost goal number 3. The Czechs now come out with a 2-on-2 situation. Both teams trying to get fresh legs on the ice out there. Dolezal goes for a break rather than chase the puck. Canada with Robitaille drops it back. Kuchera breaking in the middle, looking for the pass from Zemlichka. Buchberger loses out in neutralized territory. Offside.
Good opportunity earlier by Sakic, linking up nicely with Robitaille. Sakic had jumped on the ice in a hurry as Brindamore had gone to the bench in pain. The pass that he blocked off the boards took him in the mouth. He doesn't seem to be too badly hurt. The trainer's had a quick look at him. He won't miss his next shift, but CZECH got in there in a hurry and almost scored off a good feed from Robitaille.
Arnott is no longer receiving treatment down on the Canadian bench, so it looks like he's ready for his next shift. Less than 7 minutes on the period. 7 minutes on the game. Blake. Long shot, guns that for the far corner. The blocker save is there. Richardson comes in. Little flip all the way around, and Blake picks it up. His shot is wide of the target. Corson on the far side of the rink. Serban. Straka waiting out front as the Czechs move it along the boards. Eventually Musil gets it. The long pass right up the middle. Straka was the intended receiver on that one. He really did break quickly right from his own circle right up the ice. Horak just flips it high. The tip from Ranford, and the Canadians now back on the attack. Canada, the long shot. Breeza got a piece of that. Duchesne let that fly. Arnott now steps on the ice. Arnott out front. Correa is manhandled, but Correa hangs onto it. Arnott is there. The little guy keeps himself in there. Arnott tried to get that back, and the Canadians now could be in trouble. Going in is Rasinski. Rasinski bobbles it back through the circle. Duchesne and Arnott double team behind the goals. Baranek picks himself up. Rasinski's there. Duchesne moves in on him, but Baranek gets it back. The shot is upstairs. Mechiar got a piece of that. Ranford made the save. The Czechs going for a change. Janecki goes after his man as we come up to the 14:40 mark in the period. The shot wide of the target. Dolis pumps it right back in. Janecki will pick it up on the far side. Canada nowhere to be seen after that change. They're back out there. The Canadians changing continues out there. Kuchera looking for places to go. Drives it back in there. Zemlichka is behind Ranford. Ranford headmans the puck. Shanahan gets a slice at that. Sador with Dulles. Less than 5 minutes on the game. 2-2 is the score. This one is live, and the winner goes on to fight in the next round. The loser says goodbye to Italy and spends the rest of the summer on the beach or playing golf. Not a bad idea.
What can I say to that one?
Boy, it's been a long season, hasn't it?
It certainly has.
We started sometime in August doing the pre-Olympic tournament in Sheffield, England, where we had the Latvians and the Slovaks, Great Britain, Japan, and Poland. The Slovaks went on to win it and go into the Olympics, and it's been hockey, hockey, hockey ever since. Blake. Long pass. Serban. Holland. Time running out on this one. Straka deflects that to Yager. Yager hit along the boards. Yager puts the grab in there on Richardson, and Robitaille picks it up. This is tight, and it'll be a brave referee who calls a penalty now. Robitaille. The Canadians know that, or do they? Loose puck right at the side of the net. Horak picks it up, and it's cleared all the way down. Ranford fires it right back up. Good play by Ranford. The Canadians coming back on the attack. Thomas, the shot. Breeza hangs on. Robitaille was moving in.
Both teams are changing quickly. The other one always trying to take advantage of the line change on the fly. The Czechs trying to get fresh players out. Puck fed nicely ahead by Ranford. The shot was there by Thomas right into the glove of Breeza.
3 minutes and 51 seconds remaining on the game. 2-2 face-off deep in Czech territory. Sakic gets set for the face-off. The Canadians really have been winning the majority of these draws. That one bobbles around. Rasinski couldn't get a handle on it. A chance now as Zemlichka comes up. Zemlichka loses out on the D, and the Canadians get it out of the zone. Some good stuff by Racine as he stayed with Zemlichka. Duchesne pops it to the far side. Mechier throws it in, and the Canadians quickly get it out. Mechiar goes in along the boards. He loses out on that one. 3 Canadians with Corson right out front. The one-timer. Briza goes down. He looked around and then decided, boy, this must be mine.
Well, that play was the end result of Jeff Sanderson's hard work along the board. Sanderson really keeping the legs going. He fought off a hook, pushed the puck forward. CZECH goes around the back of the Czech goal. Right in front of the net is Corson. The shot going right at Briza. He wasn't going to take any chances. He covered up in a hurry.
The Canadians change up their defense with Sidor and Dulles going out there now. 16:41 gone on the period. Tap back to Holland. Holland around the boards to Janecki. His pass is not a good one. Sakic gets it back. Dulles. Shadowed by Kuchera and Janecki. That comes up. The pass is not a good one either by Janecki, or Kuchera rather. It flipped over onto an open wing. Sidor. The blue line. Sidor gets away from Kuchera. Sidor has got room to move. Drives it into the corner. Bouncing puck comes out. Saka traps it along the boards and then runs into trouble. Saka, good move to move it along the boards. The Canadians with Dulles keep it in. The shot takes a deflection. Loose puck is in there. Briza goes down. That's upstairs. Corson was right there. 17:26 gone in the third period. The crowd loving this one. The Canadian flags are flying. Corson has put the Canadians out in front. Again, it's good hard work by the Canadian forwards. It paid off. Sakic along the boards. Did what he had to do to keep the puck in. Right into the play is Sanderson. Corson is camped out in front of the goal. Sanderson goes down. The puck is there. Dolezal unable to move Corson out in front of the net, and Corson puts the puck over Briza. That was definitely a mismatch in front of the net. Dolezal trying to take Corson out. Kadlec had moved away from Corson for some reason, probably to get Sanderson, but he left him there at the side of the net. 2.5 minutes now on the game. The Canadians in the lead for the second time in this game. Czechs with Jager through neutral ice territory. Jager with a great move by Straka to keep himself onside. He was face down on the ice. He got his legs back on the blue line. Correa just gets it out of the zone with a little tip. Straka throws it back. Coming up to the final 2 minutes. Straka looking for places to go. Shot right on the target. Ranford is there. Richardson picks it up, and the Canadians flip it out. Correa is there to slow it down and just tip it high. Canada changing on the fly. Ranford gets it up on the wing. Shanahan moves it quickly, hits the red line and fires it in. 1.5 minutes now on the game. The Czechs with a long pass. That goes by Dolezal. Ranford is there. Duchesne gets it, flips it high. That'll go all the way down the ice. If it goes the distance, it's icing.
Robitaille on the chase. The puck made it as far as the red line, and the faceoff will come back into Canadian territory. A couple of good shots by the Czechs trying to get back into it. Straka with a quick wrist shot. Ranford with good reflexes kicked that one out. The Czechs have called a 30-second timeout.
Well, Petra Briza between the pipes will be looking at Ivan Linka. Will he be pulled? We'll wait and see if the Czechs can get a face-off deep in Canadian zone, or at least get possession in the zone. Then you can be sure that he's going to come off as the seconds tick down.
1 minute and 24 seconds for the Czechs to try and level the score again. The face-off will be deep in Canadian territory, and the Canadians have dominated on face-off. So the #1 rated team in this tournament right now on the draws, and this is a very important face-off.
The winner of this will take on the Swedes. That's not going to be easy. This has been a tough battle. Hard fought for 60 minutes. They have a day off, and then they go at it on Saturday. And the USA already through will take on the winner of tonight's game between Finland and Austria. So they'll have a day to relax after the games today, and then they go at it again Saturday, and then the winners again on Sunday. The losers also play on Sunday for the bronze. Face off deep in Canadian territory.
Brindamore against Baranek for the draw.
Brindamore has been winning these. Breeza way out of his net, has got his eye on the face-off, but he keeps looking over at Linka. A lot of time is being taken on this. The referee is telling Rusinski and Janecki where he wants them to stand. Baranek now goes in. Baranek, Brindamore. And we have a whistle on the play as everyone started to move before the puck was dropped. We're going to do it again.
All the Canadians keep looking to the bench at Tom Rennie. He's giving instructions as to who he wants to cover who. Duchesne motioning for Racine to come over toward the Canadian goal. Brindamore wins the draw.
Racine got it back. That bobbles out to the blue line, but it's not out of the zone. That's gloved forward by Brindamore. Kadlec picks it up and goes deep right in front. Brindamore picks up the puck, gets it back. The shot comes in. Breeza's got it in the pads. A mistake right in front of the goal, and Breeza had to come up big.
Things getting rough around Breeza's goal. Ricci went in a hurry trying to fight for the rebound. He took the initial shot off the pass from Brindamore. Musil got in there to try and have a go at Ricci as he went down on top of Breeza. The Canadian defenseman alertly stayed right out of the play, though. They're back at the blue line. They do not want that face-off to come out of Czech territory. Shot by Ricci. Breeza has it, but he doesn't know where it is. Ricci went in hard for the rebound. That's when everything happened.
Goaltenders take note there. Breeza was flat on his back. By the time the shot came, a couple of seconds later, he was up square to the shooter, ready for it. 55 seconds on the game. The Czechs want to get it out of the zone. Terrible pass. A chance for Canada as that goes into the corner. The Czechs need to get it out. Rusinski tries to tap it up. That goes under a body. Musil picks it up. Musil with Thomas going in hard. Musil and Thomas stick each other. Baranek gives that to Musil. Musil flips it to the far side. The goaltender is off. Coming up now is Jagr. 27 seconds, right across, the chances. Kadlec takes the shot, deflected away. Kadlec puts it behind the goal. Musil will pick this up. 19 seconds on the period and on the game. Jagr couldn't control it. Baranek, a bouncing puck, can't get it. Right in front, the shot comes in. Baranek took the shot, and that bubbles down the ice. It'll go the distance. The whistle blows with just 5 seconds on the game.
Well, that couldn't have been any closer. Paul, you were talking 100 miles an hour, and the puck was moving that quick. The Czechs were shooting all over the place. They controlled it. They got what they wanted. Steve Thomas did an excellent job of blocking one shot that came from the point, but Jagr was all around the Canadian goal. Ranford up, down, the bodies are coming at him. Baranek is there. Ricci's back to try and help out. Eventually, the Canadians iced the puck out of desperation with 5 seconds left on the clock.
All-important face-off now. 3-2 the score. Linka screaming instructions from the bench. He has to yell twice as loud because he's further away than the Canadian bench to this face-off circle. The Czechs coming back to talk to him. Rusinski gets even closer because he doesn't seem to understand what's going on. The officials allowing the Czechs to take a lot of time. Linka wanted Rusinski off the ice, but Rusinski wasn't too sure about that. Now they're set, 6 attackers out there. The goal is wide open. The Czechs looking to get the draw. The shot was wide of the target, right from the side of the net. There goes the buzzer. The Canadians are through to the next round. Everyone goes back to congratulate Ranford. 3-2 the final score. A big finish by the Czechs, but they just couldn't put it over that line.
Action is still continuing after the whistle is blown. The Czechs, Baranek especially, having a few words for the Canadians. The Canadians have won the game. It's been a hard-fought battle, a good victory for Canada.
They now take on the Swedes, and that's going to be even tougher. 3-2 the final. 3-2 the final score. Straka got the first goal of the game at 4:12 rather. A pass from Jagger. Then Shanahan came up at 12:20 to level it. That's the way the period ended. Korea at 5:58 for Canada. Kuchera 7:38 on a shorthanded goal. And then it was Corson at 17:26, the game-winning goal by Shane Corson. Well, we hope you enjoyed this one. We certainly did. It went right down to the final whistle. The Czechs gave 100%, but the Canadians came out on top 3-2. Be sure to join us tonight. Finland against Austria. We'll be there. Hope you will be too.
Skoda, the official